What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I wanted to react to some Aaron Glenn quotes. It's making the rounds, going a little viral today, and Aaron Glenn also had some comments on Justin Fields and the injury. We'll get into that too. Aaron Glenn kind of went off today about the Jets' struggles. I think let's just play the clip and then we'll listen to it and react on the other side.
I know from the media to the fans, everybody expects this, when you just start, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl. But we've all played Legos before. And we all know that, man, you have to make sure everything is aligned and you keep stacking it day by day by day. And to me, that's how I look at it. I understand the outside noise, and I'm not affected by the outside noise because I know exactly what we're trying to build here. And I wish it was instant coffee, but it's not. These things take time. And my confidence or the coach's confidence or the player's confidence is not going to be shaken. And we're going to continue to do the things we got to do to build this.
The line that's getting clipped and talked about the most is, I wish it was instant coffee, but it's not. These things take time. The instant coffee sends flashbacks to Jet fans. And, well, it's probably not the most ideal choice of words because it's something that Robert Saleh said before. This was the Robert Saleh quote on Zach Wilson. The frustrating thing is that this kid is going to be a good quarterback, but the NFL in this new instant coffee world that we're in just doesn't want to give people time. That was from 2022. So hearing Aaron Glenn say that today really pissed off a lot of Jet fans. And a part of me understands it, but I kind of want to push back on it a little bit. I want to start by saying and making it abundantly clear that I thought the Jets would give a much better effort this week against the Buffalo Bills in week 2. And I am disappointed they lost the game in the way that they did. I thought there were some really embarrassing moments in this Jets loss, 30-10 or whatever the hell the final score was. The final score didn't do it justice. They got their asses handed to them. But I think some of the crash outs online have been honestly a bit much. The Bills are Super Bowl favorites. They are, not hyperbole, you look at the odds, they are at the top. We're tied at the top for the Super Bowl favorites. The Jets were 6.5-point underdogs at home. They were not supposed to win this game. They didn't lose this game to an inferior team. Again, they got their asses handed to them, and it was embarrassing at times, but can we be a little bit realistic? This is Aaron Glenn's second game as a head coach. Second. And I get it, people and fans, myself are included in that the frustration of having a 15-year playoff drought. I'm as pissed off as anybody else about it, but it's not Aaron Glenn's fault that the team hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years. He has no control over that. You can't hold the sins of previous regimes against Aaron Glenn. What did you think was going to happen yesterday? That's my question to anyone who's like over the moon upset about this. Just like way going off the deep end, the woe is me on this game. What did you think was going to happen? Were you predicting the Jets to win that game against the Bills? If they lost in the way that they did to Cleveland or the Saints or the Dolphins or Pats, two other teams in the division that I think the Jets are on a similar tier to, then yeah, I would share in that frustration. I'd be right up there just as angry as you are about that performance. They got outclassed by a team that is significantly better than them. It sucks. It absolutely sucks, but it happens. It's the NFL. The Bills are, again, a team that is going for a Super Bowl. They have a top 3 quarterback in the NFL in Josh Allen. They make the playoffs every single year. They're probably winning 13 games this year. Vegas had the Jets at 5.5 wins. So they thought they're going to be a 5-6 win team. I had the Jets at 7 wins. Some people said that was optimistic. Some people said I was way too down on them. But I think most Jet fans thought they would be 6, 7, maybe 8 win team. So don't go, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel on Aaron Glenn because the 6, 7, or 8 win team played like a 6, 7, or 8 win team against a team that's going to win 13 games this year. Like of all the things that we've been through as a fan base over the last few years, for a blowout loss to Buffalo being the one where it's like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out on this coach. That's not fair to Aaron Glenn. I'm sorry. And again, I'm not saying you can't be frustrated. I'm frustrated too. I hated watching that game yesterday. It sucked. It was not fun. But I ask again, did you think the Jets were going to win that game? Really, in your heart of hearts, put the fanboy card down for a second. If you're, a Jets fan who considers themselves an optimist and talks themselves into that they're going to win every single week. Like if you really look into it, you probably knew that the Buffalo Bills were better, right? It might hurt your little soul to say that as a Jet fan, that, man, a division rival is better than you. But it's the truth. They lost to a better team. And again, I want to emphasize it. The way that they played was really frustrating. It was really frustrating. Fields was horrible. The defense made a lot of mistakes. The coaching staff made mistakes. But this is Aaron Glenn's second game as a head coach in the NFL. Just because Robert Saleh sucked and because Adam Gase sucked doesn't mean that you could hold the things that had happened in that 6-year period, or if you want to go back throughout this playoff drought over the 15-year period against Aaron Glenn after 2 games. Can we give it a little bit longer of a leash than 2 games? Even for us, I feel like that's pretty insane to just be like, nah, I'm pulling the ripcord and this guy stinks after 2 games. And maybe he will stink, but I'd like to at least give him, I don't know, a year of evaluation before we make declarative statements on the head coach. Just my thought personally. Guys, we're brought to you by Sleeper. Think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any other daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. If your picks win, use promo code O'Leary, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Aaron Glenn also spoke about his quarterback, Justin Fields, being in concussion protocol.
Could you give us an update on Justin Fields?
Yeah, he's in the protocol right now, and it's always a hard one to really just try to evaluate until we get more information. So I'm sure I'll be giving you guys more information as the week progresses.
Where do you stand as a coach? I mean, if he can, does he have to practice? If he misses significant practice time this week, does he play?
Well, it's hard for me as a coach once we get to Friday and you haven't had any reps. And that's just something that I believe in. So, again, I don't want to put anything on that as far as where we're at with him until we get to that point.
AJ, as you guys start building a game plan today and tomorrow for Tampa Bay,
yep.
Do you do that in mind that Tyrod is probably the starter, or how does that affect your plan?
Well, we have to look at that both ways. You're absolutely right. We have to look at, okay, if Justin's going to be ready to play. And like I said, we'll get more information so we can be more pinpointed on that. But we do have to look at it that way. If Justin can't play, then Tyrod will be the guy. And we have to make sure we build a plan that's suitable for him.
Honestly, I think I'd be surprised if Justin Fields plays this week. And, okay. Whatever, right? I don't want to put him out there. Like Glenn says, if the guy doesn't get any practice time this week, I don't think it's worth it to toss Justin Fields in there. Luckily, the Jets are in a pretty good spot where they have a decent backup quarterback in Tyrod Taylor. I think he's fine. Tyrod is fine. Fields has never played a full season in his NFL career, 5 years in the league. I didn't expect him to. I didn't think he would this year. That's why I have Tyrod Taylor on your roster. I think he can hold down the fort for a week or two if need be, with Justin Fields in concussion protocol. And, that's kind of exactly what Aaron Glenn was saying. Like, yeah, they're going to have a designed offense one way for Fields and another one for Tyrod, which is fine. There's things that, Justin Fields does that Tyrod Taylor can't do. And there's things that Tyrod does that Justin Fields can't do. Being honest with you, I feel a hell of a lot more comfortable with Tyrod Taylor throwing the ball than I do with Justin Fields. Now, you're not going to have those explosive plays with Tyrod's legs that you have with Justin Fields, but can you come up with a game plan to keep you in a game against a really good team against Tampa Bay? I hope you can. I think you can. You just need a better effort this week all around. Sorry for a little bit of a rant, I guess, today, but I was just been a little frustrated with the internet and Jets fandom today. I I think some of the reaction's been a little bit over the top. I try to keep it measured here as much as we can on the channel, and that's why I made this video. So anyway, by the way, I'll be live with Richie on the Jets Roundtable channel at 3 p.m. this afternoon, so check that out as we'll get more into the fallout from this game and break it down over there. So check out the Jets Roundtable coming up later today. That'll do it. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe here if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.